Valorant is so dry right now. If I don't come up with more video ideas by the end of the week, I might just have to become a dropshipper of rip-off AirPods or an underground rapper. Like at this point, I really can't think of videos to make, but thankfully I today came up with the totally original topic of are Valorant abilities too much and do we need to make the game more about gunplay? Now, of course, this is going to be one of those little commentaries / rants, and so if you end up enjoying, a subscribe would be greatly appreciated. Anyways, first up I'm going to be talking about what led people to even talk about how the game isn't about the gunplay anymore. So I think this all kind of started when Tejo got launched, because before that, yes, there were talks about there being too many agents in the game or there being too much of a learning curve for the new players, but nothing was quite like this. I feel like as more and more agents are being added to the game and so more and more abilities are being added to the game, the players are kind of getting sick of them because first of all they're too much, and second of all they take up a very large chunk of the game that they shouldn't really hold. Some time ago there was also this extremely famous clip of a League of Legends player reacting to a VCT match, and here the average Valorant player can probably tell what's going on, but for the outsider like a CSGO, a Rainbow Six or a League of Legends player, this seems extremely confusing and uninviting. The thing is that now Valorant players are also finding the abilities extremely annoying to deal with because of the sheer amount of them. Tejo has insane map control, for example. Also, you have Waylay flying around. Of course, they patched that bug where she could just fly around aimlessly and just shoot down people with a shotgun, but still, that was in the game and it was pretty annoying. You have Neon, which kind of does the same thing, and you have a bunch of other agents, recon abilities, walls, flashes. At one point it just gets extremely overwhelming to the average player. That's why we kind of have to go back a few years to when Valorant released and kind of just remind Riot that this game was supposed to be more about gunplay, with the abilities being kind of like a quirk that helped the game be different. A lot of you have probably seen this, but Dan's also complained about this in one of his recent streams. Ever since then, we know some info about this issue. One of Valorant's developers, Penguin, who is more active on Twitter, tweeted a couple of months ago and also recently that the Valorant team is working on this issue. Of course, it is very hard to balance two different mechanics in the game, but if they could make it possible, it would honestly be amazing. Now let me know in the comments what you think of this, but anyways, I'll see you next time and goodbye.